It's going great. It's going good. No physical. Good amount of time. It's been great.
We've heard a lot about your physicality. That Evan was saying that in particular, like you particularly love the Beat Ohio drill. Like,
Yeah.
what about that?
Man, something about it. Just they start just blasting music and your heart just bumping. And you know that we're winning the ball. The defense know we're winning the ball. It's just hard mouth smash football. It's definitely one of my favorite things on this team, no doubt.
Imagine smash football is one of the reasons you came to Michigan, but in your own words, what made this the right fit for you?
Definitely the culture, the people and the fans, no doubt. Just walking in and how welcoming the people were. Just every opportunity, seeing all Americans, meeting the coaches, just the environment this has, the tradition. That's the better word to say. Just the tradition of Michigan really set apart from the others, and maybe want to commit here.
To enter the portal and then hear from a school like Michigan, just knowing it's football, like what was that like for you?
Yeah, it's crazy. Being an only FCS offer guy, wasn't even a full scholarship, had about 25% scholarship in my old school, to now being here, just getting a call from them was out of the blue. I actually had a couple visits to a couple ACCs, and I canceled all of them just to come to here, man. Just know like a blue blood program like this, I had to go see them, no doubt.
Who was it that called you first?
I got a text on Twitter from Jack Dunway, and then from there he gave me Coach Newsom's number, and I ended up calling with him.
You, I think you visited or were about to visit Ohio State, and when you committed, you even kind of had a little.
They called me in the hotel room of my visit here and to offer me, but in my mind, they texted me before Michigan did, really, and then just kind of ghosted me out of the blue. And all of a sudden, when Michigan offered me, they wanted me now, so I kind of found that a little odd. Then I just came here and I was like, yeah, I told them those guys, I don't care.
So that's why the little dig when you committed.
Yeah, no doubt.
What do you remember about that first experience in the Beat Ohio drill?
Dude, couldn't hear a word. I'm not gonna lie. People were running around everywhere, you can't hear anything. I'm just like, where am I supposed to go? Where am I supposed to be? And I don't know. It's just you can't even hear the quarterback snap the ball or even say the play. You just kind of just gotta tone in so much where you only hear his voice and just go and hit. But there's just the adrenaline of it is just crazy to me. I loved it.
How much do you know about the Michigan Ohio State rivalry?
I knew a lot. I wasn't primarily a big fan of any teams. I grew up a Notre Dame fan with my dad, but I honestly grew up not liking Michigan. I'm not gonna lie. Grew up not really liking them. I definitely think they're probably the most hated team in the nation, no doubt, which is a good thing. I'm not gonna lie, it's a great thing. But I knew a good amount. I knew how insane the game was, no doubt.
What do you think about your game caught their eye?
Definitely my athleticism, I'm around about 310, 315 pounds right now, and I can move pretty well for my size, I think. So they like to get me out in space, pull me around, and then my footwork, I think, is pretty good. So even though I'm not the tallest guy, they still have me primarily playing tackle right now, so they like my footwork, and that's what I've been doing pretty well at.
And when you got that call from Ohio State, did you turn them down at that moment, or did you?
No, I took the offer, obviously, but then once I kind of hung up on thinking about it and then just committed here, I know I didn't say anything to them, just post my Michigan commitment, then don't got to talk to them ever again,
So assumably you have that game circled on the calendar.
A little bit. I'm not I don't have as much of the hatred and the rivalry in my blood as these guys who've played for the program for many years. I'm assuming once that week comes, I'll definitely start feeling it. You know what I mean? But I don't really have that pure hatred of blood quite yet. You know what I mean? I know it'll happen because the game. It's called the game. But I definitely will get that sooner or later.
Coming from the FCS level, is there a part of you that feels like you need to prove something at this level?
Oh, no doubt, yeah. A lot of the guys, I try my best not to read comments, but a couple of them slip through and I read them of guys like, oh, FCS, he isn't going to do nothing. Oh, he was, barely that good. But, I feel like I have a lot to prove coming from a guy who wasn't rated that well, didn't have a single full-ride scholarship, and now I'm here competing with the best. I definitely have a lot to prove, no doubt.
Obviously, there's no Kenneth Grant and Mason Graham that you're going to be tackling against in spring, but how's just the competition been so far?
Man, definitely a big step up. At my old school, I'll give a little shout out to Elijah Ponder. He was a defensive end over at Cal Poly. Right now, he'd go into the league. He was very good. So I give a lot of props to him. Why I'm a lot better than I am now, but he was pretty good. But going to the level where I'm going against guys like Derek Moore, TJ Guy, Dom Nichols, Cameron Brandt, just every practice, it's a lot, but it's not a bad thing because it's making me so much better. Every day I go against them, I'm like, I can't take a play off.